Next I've got Debra Adimey versus Station Casinos LLC, A22-850-394-C. Good morning.
Got Mahoney for the defendant. I apologize for my attire. I was having technology problems.
No worries, not a problem. All right, do we have
Good
okay.
morning. Yes, for the plaintiffs, my name is Kimberley Weber, bar number 14434.
All right, good morning. So it looks like we need to reset the trial date. So just to let you know, since we initially set the trial date, I've gone split docket. So what that means is I have 5 weeks civil, 5 weeks criminal. So even though this bench trial is going to take about 2 months, I don't think I can do it like continuously because I will need to accommodate those criminal trials that go. Now, to be fair, we have had multiple weeks where criminal trials have not gone. So I guess I first also need to hear from the parties how available their witnesses would be on sort of, I don't want to say last minute notice, but if I could tell you, hey, I don't have a trial this week in my criminal stack, would you, my plan would be to give you the first 5 weeks in a civil stack, and then sort of, if we can fit some stuff in during the criminal stack, I could do that, or then just put you over to the other 5 weeks. Now, just to also let you know, I'm also on MedMal, which have firm sets. If they are 3 weeks or more, I really need to take them because it would be unfair for me to give that to an overflow colleague. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of the landscape in setting this trial. And I know that there's been at least, I think maybe 1 or 2 people that have settled out. I don't know if we're still looking at 55 to 60 days for a bench trial or not. So if I could get a little up to date on what's happening.
Okay. I think all the witnesses are local, so I don't think a fairly short notice period would be much of a problem.
Okay.
And the largest employer among the plaintiffs is Defendant Station Casinos. So hopefully the parties can work together to accommodate last minute scheduling changes. Regarding the number of plaintiffs, I will report as we get further and further into discovery that there may be additional plaintiffs that we may need to confer on with the court at a later date. But we're still working on getting everything that we need, and hopefully we'll get full compliance very soon.
Okay.
Will hopefully just be a handful. But that said, there's still going to be a large number of plaintiffs, but I am very optimistic that one of the major ways to reduce the length of the trial will be through dispositive motions. There are several important questions of law that will decide a lot of these plaintiffs' cases. So, and those are just going to be novel questions of law and how to interpret the SB 386 statute, such as what it means to be qualified. So,
Sure.
I am very hopeful that we can cut that trial date in that trial length in more than half as well.
Okay, and then let me ask, have you all thought about how you're going to organize the claims? Would you be doing it by casino or by the type of claim that the plaintiffs have? Have you given any thought to that at all?
I think we, excuse me, I think we envision doing something along the lines that are suggesting either by casino or certain fact groupings or something.
Okay.
So even if I'm sure the number will be reduced quite a bit, but even if it's not, because it's a bench trial, I think we could do 5 weeks for certain plaintiffs.
Right.
Another 5 for the rest.
Okay, it might be piecemeal, and to be honest, with the MedMal settings, it might be more manageable to stick you in when my criminal trials don't go. So just a warning. Okay, all right. So, let me ask. See, and you think that discovery will be closed by February 28th. Is that correct?
Yes, and I think that's a reasonable time period for us to complete discovery.
Okay. Do you want me to build in some cushion time between the dispositive motions and when we would start our bench trial if they're going to be sort of voluminous or novel issues?
Yes, and Scott, did you also want to speak to the dispositive motions?
Yeah, I think we would need more than the traditional 30 days. That's probably in there already.
I'll let you guys figure out however you want to do it as far as dispositive motions. I mean, so yeah, usually it's 30 days. Would you prefer to have something like 60 days?
Why don't we do 60 and we could advise the court at some point in the future if we think things need to be changed.
That's fine. That's fine. You know, I'm going to build in a lot
60
of
days
cushion.
is, yeah, 60 days is reasonable. And I agree with Scott that we will want to give the court a decent amount of time to wade through the dispositive motions because they are novel. These will be novel interpretation issues.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to then let's see. If I set you on the October SAC,
I have a trial in September at some point. Could we do maybe November stack?
so my November SAC's my criminal SAC. The next one would be January 2026.
That's okay if it's fine with Ms. Wilker.
Okay.
That's how the court's calendar works out. 2026 is fine.
Okay,
We-
all right.
we
So
can-
then I'll set you January 5th, 2026. I'll set you in the firm time during that time, but with the understanding if there's like a 3 or 4 week med mal, I might need to move a little bit, but I could also, like I said, accommodate during the criminal days.